Hulu's Up Here questions whether one can ever genuinely and completely know someone, even from the depths of true love. It is already incorporated into the title song. The more melancholy, "Can I Ever Know You?" follows the declarative, "I Can Never Know You." On the other hand, it is one thing for two partners to find it difficult to communicate. Another is for an audience to have difficulty connecting. Up Here has some appealing aspects, chief among them two excellent main performances by Carlos Valdes and Mae Whitman. Despite the time spent exploring the characters' deepest psyches, the whole enterprise still has an unsatisfying shallowness. Here is everything you need to know about the Season 1 ending. Major spoilers ahead if you have not watched the Season 1 yet. The final episode begins with Miguel moving into his own rather spacious skyscraper apartment. Miguel has maintained his excellence in his banking position. However, this success is fleeting because there has been a significant data leak at work, and Miguel might be to blame. The breach can be traced back to Kevin, who was viewing unauthorized content on his work computer, and the hackers entered the organization through these deactivated firewalls. However, Miguel was the one who had initially torn down the firewalls. Kevin and Miguel are worried that they might lose their employment before the year is over, and they're both thinking about making Chris, the nerdy outsider, the blame. Lindsay's existence isn't faring any better in the meantime. She discovered Miguel kissing his ex in the previous episode, and they have since broken up. Lindsay, who was residing at Miguel's home at the time, is currently without a place to remain. She requests Marta, an old roommate, to accept her back. Miguel and Lindsay spend Christmas apart, both of them hopelessly unmarried and depressingly alone. The only thing Lindsay has accomplished since the breakup is finishing the manuscript for her picture book, but her instructor and hero Ted, Brian Stokes Mitchell, wants to make some significant changes to the plot. With the promise of returning a pair of slippers, Miguel extends an invitation to Lindsay to visit his stylish, brand-new flat. Lindsay offers Miguel a copy of the story to peruse after mentioning that her book is now complete. She tells Miguel that she might have a publisher, but he wants to alter the protagonist because he believes they are too ugly to sell the book. Miguel acknowledges that he had intended to consult Lindsay for guidance, but he is now having second thoughts. Despite his inability to tell Lindsay the truth, Miguel is obviously in a difficult situation as a result of the data leak. He is not required to, however, and they argue instead. Lindsay is enraged by Miguel's infidelity and his lack of courtesy in offering an apology. Nevertheless, Miguel doesn't believe he broke any laws because his ex-girlfriend seduced him. He deviates from the topic and brings up Lindsay's network of deceit. She ran away from her ex 6 days prior to the wedding and never revealed to Miguel that she was betrothed. Both parties refuse to compromise, so the fight only gets worse. The loud sounds agitate Miguel's dog, which then attacks Lindsay and bites her. When Miguel stands up for the canine, she departs. Miguel flips through Lindsay's tail while at work. His career, which was at the time on thin ice, was being urged upon him by the voices in his mind. Miguel, on the other hand, makes the moral decision to accept responsibility for his errors. He rushes over to Lindsay's flat and gives her the original book back. Miguel begs her not to make any changes to the narrative because it is ideal as it is. Lindsay appears prepared to reconcile with Miguel right then and there, but Miguel leaves without giving her the opportunity. Lindsay heeds Miguel's counsel and informs Ted that she won't be changing her book. Miguel is spending New Year's Eve at his father's house. He is truthful with his father, telling him that he may have to temporarily move back in with him due to being dismissed. Miguel is aware that he has lost everything, including his job and girlfriend, but he is no longer afraid. When Miguel's father inquires about their relationship, he acknowledges that they both concealed things from one another. It didn't help that Lindsay decided to protect the dog after Miguel's dog bit him. They speak about Miguel's mother's death and how encouraging it was to get a puppy after hearing such terrible news. He values his canine tremendously. Miguel's father advises his son to be more honest with Lindsay in order to tell her the truth, stressing the value of letting people into one's life. When Lindsay reads her tale again, she sees Miguel has inserted some adorable illustrations. She suddenly realizes she wants to be with him, and Miguel also has a flash of insight. He also wants to be with her. They pursue one another as they both make their way to the train. Just in time for the New Year's Eve festivities, the pair reunites. They sing a medley of every song from the first few seasons of the show, eventually deciding to flee the voices in their heads. They pull over to a random street corner and make their affection known. The new year is ushered in by the backdrop noise of the New Year's countdown. The two lovers kiss as pyrotechnics explode above, and Lindsay remarks that the world hasn't ended. Lindsay burps in the middle of this passionate embrace, ruining the moment. In an uncomfortable laugh, Lindsay mentions how sick she has been lately. All of the voices in the minds of the two main characters, and the two of them simultaneously reach the same conclusion. Lindsay is pregnant.